Good afternoon and welcome to Master Real Estate Academy Coaching and our live stream this week. And we are going to be joining us today is Marty Longe with he's actually with Umbrella Graphics. And so our real estate team, we have a team of 8 real estate agents here in Omaha, Nebraska. And we have used Marty for probably, I want to say the last 5 years. And Marty has helped us essentially with the mailing piece. So one of the things that we teach in regards to the mail, call, see, email, social media. So just to kind of refresh everybody here is that we mail at least 12 times a year, probably more than that, because we're sending out magnets, we're sending out calendars and that type of stuff. But we specifically use Marty for our farming campaign. So Marty does oversized postcards. Let me bring up here real quick. I'll show you an example of one of these here real quick. All right. Whoa, there I am. Let's see here. So, but as far as the mailing piece to a farm area, we talked about this in the last video, was that you should be mailing every single month. And one of the things that you should be mailing is just a postcard. And for my purposes of how we've got our postcard is that, and what Marty does for us, again with Umbrella Graphics, is he does an amazing job of customizing it to our brand. And then they typically have multiple different types of, again, whether it's spring, summer, fall, winter, just listed, just sold, all kinds of different kind of campaigns you can do. But we're able to go in once a month and take a look at it and say, okay, hey, we like this one, Marty, send it over to Marty, then Marty takes care of it. But the power of this is it's not just the piece that you send, but it's the message that goes with it. And also, too, for us, we're really trying to get, because when you're sending to a geographical farm, you typically just have an address for them. So what we're trying to do in correlation with our website is we're offering different things that help us with. Let me just show you that. So that was one side of it. Let me show you the other side here real quick. Let's see. So this is just an example of another card that he has put together for us. And you got one side, it's just really colorful. It's oversized. And we have, if you look at this right here, we have branded and put in correlation with Region Financial, which is our lender that we use. And just so you know, if you guys know me well enough, at least probably the people that are on here right now, I'm very cheap and I don't like to pay for anything. And so we've partnered up with Region Financial. We send a lot of business their way over the year. And so they kind of pay for pretty much the whole program. They pay for the mailing part of it. They pay for the actual postcard. So Marty doesn't bill me. He actually, he bills the lender. So that's kind of the piece and kind of what we're using Marty for, although he's got a full suite of things that they offer to real estate agents. I'm going to let him cover that, but also too, I want to kind of get his take on just marketing in general for real estate agents, what the stats are. I know we're getting really good stats and stuff in regards to our return. We mail, I think it's like 2,200 pieces a month to our farm area, and we are getting I think I should have probably done the numbers here, but we are averaging anywhere between 2 and 3%. And that's actual sold properties. So you figure 2,000 properties, you do the math on how many that is closed. But we also represent a lot of buyers that purchase properties, and we may not be representing the seller, but the sellers know who we are because of the marketing that we do. So anyhow, without further ado, I am going to bring the man, the myth, the marketing guru on here. Let's get a nice little round of applause for Marty Longe. Am I saying that right, Marty? I always used to call you Marty Longe.
Yeah, it's a French Canadian name. It's actually Longe.
Longe.
So, yeah, our ancestors come from British Columbia, just up there.
Oh, nice.
So,
and you're based out of what? Seattle, right?
Seattle area, yeah.
Oh, so are you in the new country in the state of Washington, or are you just outside of the new country that was created in Seattle?
Yeah, actually my mother lives near that area.
Oh my goodness.
And in fact, she's probably marching with the protesters. So she named me after Martin Luther King.
Oh, really?
In the 60s. I was born in 59. That's just when he was kind of getting known. And so she was so involved in the civil rights movement that she named me after Martin Luther King. So
oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm proud of that.
Well, good for you. Congratulations. Yeah. All right. So I kept kind of, just talking a little bit about how we utilize you guys. And I know that you've been in the industry, somehow, some way for about 40 years. And specifically working with the real estate industry for, was it about 13 years?
Yeah, it's been about 13 years now. Pretty successful. I mean, we went from working with like 10 agents, and now, let's see, recent count, 346 different agents now.
And that's all around the country?
All around the country, yeah, coast to coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, so if I was a real estate agent and I was looking for a marketing company to help me with my farming campaign or help me with my sphere of influence, why would I be coming to Umbrella Graphics?
Well, quite honestly, I think you've already mentioned some of the things that make us unique. Is that so many of the postcard, and we'll just talk about postcards right now. So many of the postcard marketing companies, there's templates that you can choose from, and you can put your face and your name on it and your phone number, and that's it. That's all you can do. And a lot of the designs are just fairly cookie cutter. They aren't regional specific. They aren't market specific. Quite frankly, I think some of the designs are silly. They're attempting to be funny without really addressing the market. So what really makes us unique is that we take our basic template, our starting point, and then we brand it to each and every agent using their colors, their logos, their photos. But we also massage the message, because what's happening in the Boston, Massachusetts housing market is not what's happening in the Phoenix, Arizona housing market. And so it's very, very important to craft the messages so that they resonate with that particular target audience. There's also different kinds of neighborhoods. So some of our agents want the photos of their homes or the look of their postcards to be very high end because they're marketing to a high end market. Other agents are working in a lower end market, and so they don't want their postcards to look so fancy. And so we craft each and every postcard using our templates as a starting point to fit that particular agent's target market. So
I know one of the things that I love about your guys' company, and I'm sure you hate about working with me indirectly, is there's really no, I don't know, is there a limit on how many times I can send you a proof to get it reproofed and reproof? I think the most I've ever done is like 5.
Yeah, well, you're lucky, because 6 proofs is when I get annoyed. So honestly, I think our record was 14 proofs on a particular postcard. And after about 12, we had to charge the customer some extra money, because they simply had really, 4 proofs into it. Oh, we've changed our mind. Let's do this postcard instead. And then 4 more proofs later, well, let's do this one instead. So there has to be some kind of reasonable limit, but we rarely ever reach it. And most agents, they're zeroing in on what they want within 3 or 4 proofs.
Okay. So let's pivot just a little bit here. Tell me, in regards to costs and stuff like that, what do you do you think you're maybe a little bit cheaper than maybe your competitors, or?
Well, there's always cheaper.
Right.
There's always more expensive, but there's always cheaper. And my opinion is it's all about return on investment.
Right.
You know, so I'll have an agent, they'll send out 100 postcards and they do it once a month. And they aren't getting any return because that's not enough postcards. In other words, not enough eyeballs, not enough households. You're just not going to get a return. So you spend $150 on 100 postcards and reach 100 homes and you get no return. You just flushed $150 down the toilet. So it's really about return on investment. It's not how much did the postcards cost. It's really about how many eyeballs did I reach? How many households did I reach? Thus, our most common formula that we present to our agents is that more homes is better than more often. For example, if you wanted to send out 1,000 postcards twice a month, I would tell you, no, send out 2,500 postcards once a month. That's 2,500 households for almost virtually the same cost as 1,000 households twice. So why not reach more people for the same price? And so it's always about return on investment, always.
So what do you think? So if I'm sending on an average, what I kind of coach, if somebody's going to do a farm, that they should at least have 1,000 households that they're sending to. Yeah, and when they go and find a farm area, kind of the breakdown is that they're looking for an area that maybe has anywhere from 7 to 10 turnover rate, meaning that 70 to 100 houses a year are selling within that subdivision or that geographical farm or whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts on that? And what are you also then seeing or hearing from your clients of return on investment?
Okay. Well, I'm going to use, it helps to use an agent, for example. So I'm going to use Josh. He's one of our favorite guys out here on the West Coast. And he started 10 years ago. And like many starting agents, he was selling 5 homes a year, 7 homes a year. But he was determined to become the #1 agent in our area, which he is now the #1 agent in our area. The last report, he sold 202 homes last year. That's pretty good. Right. But he started out with 5 or 6 a year, like most agents. So when he started a farming program, and we had this conversation like I have with many agents. So first and foremost, you want to market to the people you already know, because you're going to get a 40% return through referrals from people you already know. So establish a marketing program to your database. Make sure you're talking to them in a variety of different ways. Call them on the phone, send them a bi-yearly newsletter, send them a month, about, I'd say a quarterly postcard, about once every 3 months. Send them a thank you note, send them Christmas cards, birthday cards, knock on their door once a year, market to the people you already know and keep building that list. That's your core group of referrals. Once you're marketing to the people you already know, start marketing to the people who don't know you. That's your geographic farm. So establish your database marketing. Then immediately, when that's going, you got a rhythm going, then target the people who don't know you. That's your geographic farm. And so my recommendation to most agents is start with a nice round number. 1,000 is a good number. We get a good price on printing. And you'll get a decent price on mailing. And then you make a decision, am I going to do this based on direct mail? That's with a mailing list. Or am I going to use every door direct, which is typically what we recommend because it's considerably cheaper.
That's good.
So that's kind of my general advice that I give to the agents.
Yeah, and that's pretty much now one thing that you had said there, we have another company. I use by referral only. They do send a their version of a referral postcard to our specific database. It's just part of that program that we have. So that's to me, I never, that was just part of the program. That wasn't anything that I ever said, oh, I think I should do this. But we get a hefty amount because we send probably in our database, I think we have our mailing list is right at about 475, somewhere right around there. And that's households. And so we typically will get anywhere from 100 to 150 referral leads that specifically come out of our database, or adding somebody in that was a referral from somebody within the database. But somehow it always comes back to that database. And we're mailing them at least once a month. We're calling them at least 3 to 4 times a year, inviting them to events and stuff like that. So in regards to what Umbrella Graphics has, you have the postcards. What else do you have? If a real estate agent wants to use Umbrella Graphics, you have kind of a suite of products for an agent to use. What else do you have?
Yeah, if you go to umbrellagraphics.com/real estate, that takes you directly into the real estate section of my website, umbrellagraphics.com/real estate. When you get there, you're going to see door hangers, house flyers, postcards, business cards, logo design, signage, etc. And basically we tell agents that if you, there you go. That's kind of the landing page. That's where you end up if you go directly to umbrellagraphics.com/real estate. We have brochures, stationery, etc. If you don't see it there, we probably have done it. And so if it involves ink of any kind, we've probably done it. And we are doing more and more social media stuff. So for example, if you order one of our postcards and you want to have a corresponding Facebook ad that looks like that postcard that you've sent out, a lot of our postcards work as Facebook ads. And so we can generate a Facebook ad that'll match your postcard.
Now, is that an upcharge for that, or?
No, I mean, if you've ordered a postcard from us, we're very happy to turn that into a Facebook ad. It's not something we've really been publicizing yet. We kind of mentioned that to our favorite agents, but it's something we can do. And then we're also doing a lot of other electronic digital stuff, particularly now, with the COVID requirements. People are wanting to be able to do an over the phone or over the computer presentation. So we've been actually doing a lot more PowerPoint presentations that can be adapted for the internet. People can do those, they can pull them up on the customer can pull it up on the screen. They can click through it as the agent is clicking through it. So that provides, some over the phone, on the computer presentations, so they don't have to do face-to-face stuff. So we're doing a lot more of that sort of thing. So, yeah.
So let me ask you this, you had mentioned COVID. Obviously, I have talked to other marketing people around the country, and a couple that we're actually using as well on different pieces of our business. Have you seen any kind of a downturn on real estate agents saying, hey, you know what, I need to take a break from spending any money in marketing? And what are your thoughts when the market kind of does do a little bit of a shift like that, as far as how they should be marketing?
Well, I'm going to go back to Josh again, because Josh and I talked about this. As soon as the COVID hit our area in particular, it was actually earlier. Seattle was one of the hardest hit early on. That was around beginning of March. Josh calls me up. We had a long conversation. He says, do you think I should back off on marketing? And my answer was, no, you should actually increase it. Because here's what's going to happen. The agents are going to disappear. They're going to stop spending money. They're going to go into hiding. They're not going to know how to adapt. They're going to disappear. And if you're the only one out there marketing, you're the person they're going to call. So he ended up doing an additional EDDM postcard. He does 10,000 a month. He decided to do it twice. So he doubled up in March and the beginning of April. as a result, he gets a phone call from somebody in his target farm area. And the lady says, you know what? You're the only real estate agent who contacted me this month. The only one I got publicity from. There are no signs in our neighborhood. Nobody's calling. No door hangers. No flyers. You're the only person I got a piece from. And that's why I'm calling you.
Yeah,
And
we're talking about a market of probably
he ended up selling a $600,000 house.
Yeah.
So he more than paid for that extra postcard that he put out. Well, because of that, he got even more aggressive. And as a result, he is selling more homes during COVID than he was selling last year.
Yeah.
So my feeling is that when the market pushes everybody else into hiding, that's when you need to be the gopher who pops up his head,
And that's, what I've tried to equate like COVID-19 to in regards to what real estate agents should be doing, whether it's calling, mailing, doesn't matter, is, when it comes around October timeframe, everybody's starting to think, and it doesn't really matter where you're at in the country. I mean, I live in a snow state. So around October is when we start to jack up everything when it comes to phone calls, when it comes to mailing, reaching out, adding new farm areas, adding new areas, maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because typically in October, most people, and I'll just talk about the real estate agents, are starting to go to sleep. No different than what you just talked about with COVID-19, because they're all thinking, oh, you know what? Right around the corner is Thanksgiving. Right around the corner is Christmas. Nobody wants to sell a house. They're all going to wait till spring. So I'm not going to bother them right now. You know what? I'm going to call them in spring. Well, guess what? They've already thought about selling their house in November because they talked to a real estate agent from our team in the month of November and December to say, happy Thanksgiving, happy, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, whatever the case may be. And we've already gotten that, because again, when you go back to the National Association of Realtors, I always go back to the study that they do every year. And every year that I've seen this study since 2010, the number has ticked upward. And it says basically that 72% of all sellers who end up choosing the real estate agent that they pick, one is they only meet with one, and they typically go with the first one if they meet additional ones that they've met. So the idea is, and the idea I've always just harped on real estate agents about, and even myself, is I want to be the first one. I want to be talking to these people before they're thinking about doing for sale by owner, before they're talking to their other friends and stuff about selling their house. Bob Loeffler 2 weeks ago had said, he used the example that, you could go in any subdivision, you go into any 100 houses, and with almost exact, there's at least 6 people for every 100 homes that are thinking about selling their home in the next 6 months. So the idea is to try to find them before they start looking for all the resources. Because when you say, hey, have you ever thought about selling your house? They say no. Then you finish it up with say, well, have you ever thought about selling your home? Well, sure, everybody's thought about selling their home, and it may not be on the radar right now. I mean, we found 5 sellers in the last 2 weeks that have postponed because of the uncertainty in the market. I mean, obviously, this is all about, we got an election year. We got the riots going on, obviously worse in other states than in cities than others. We've got COVID-19 still going on. We got the potential of the uptick of it coming in and going into the next, I'll call it the flu season. But again, people are still buying and selling houses, and you have got to be the agent that has got to invest in yourself, invest in your business, and that's through marketing. So, all right, well, you know what? We're coming up on the 25 minutes here. Let me ask you this: do you have anything else that somebody should know about Umbrella Graphics?
Just basically, gosh, I'm 61 now. So I've been doing this for 43 years. 43 years. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've worked with small and large businesses with, and then in particular, last 13 years working very, very closely in the real estate industry and working with agents. And so I've worked with agents that are selling 2 homes a year and agents that are selling 200. And what I tell them every single time is, so what drives your business? What grows your business? And well, I sell homes. And I say, no, you misunderstand. What drives your business is marketing. Marketing drives your business. There was a movie years ago, Field of Dreams, and they said, if you build it, they will come. And I say to people, that is a fantasy movie. The only way it will come is if you market your baseball field, because they won't know how to find it. They won't know it's there. They won't know they need it. And so marketing is it drives your business. You think of it as a train with 3 cars on it. There's the engine, there's the coal car, and there's the caboose. The caboose are the houses you sell. That's what you're selling. That gets dragged along. It gets dragged into the station. Well, how do people who are waiting at the station, are they ever going to find out about your houses? Well, the coal car is the cash flow. You got to have money. You have to invest in your business. That's what makes it run. So you got to have some money. The engine is marketing. That's what drives your business. That's what takes your product from wherever it is and it drives it into the station and it puts it in front of the people who are waiting there. And if you don't market, they will not come. And so that's my encouragement, is that you've got to make sure you're investing in tooting your own horn. You just have to.
Okay, Marty, tell them real quick. First of all, I want to thank you. I got times and everything all messed up, and luckily, since we're all stuck at home, Marty was able to throw a shirt on and meet with us today. So I appreciate that. But tell everybody real quick, because we're going to take this video, and with your permission, I want to be able to put this on our social media sites and stuff. And how can they reach you?
Okay, well, my phone number is on the website. So if you go to umbrellographics.com/real estate, takes you into the real estate section. You can always call. I want to talk to the agents. So call me. We'll talk about your marketing program, how much money you have, what you want to invest, how to start, how to grow it over time. We will have that conversation. I want to know about your market. Who is your target audience? Who are you trying to sell to? What obstacles you're looking for? What opportunities you have? So call me. We'll talk. My email is also on the website, marty@umbrellographics.com. So you can email, you can call, and of course you can place an order, which I would appreciate. So if you go there, there's order forms for every product that we have on there. And then there's a contact form. So if there's something you don't see, just ask. If we don't supply it, we know who does. And so we can get you hooked up with a good vendor if you're looking for something in particular.
Well, awesome. Again, thank you, Marty, for participating, and I look forward to sending my next order. And you've got my recommendation on the postcards, most definitely. So, thanks again, Marty, and take care up there in Seattle.
Yeah, we're keeping our eyes up and our heads down.
All right, all right. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you so much.
Hey, gang, so before you go, I just wanted to remind you on Thursday, we are going to be going live at 1 o'clock with, again, our lead generation series, and we're going to be covering for sale by owners and expireds, the low-hanging fruit. So hopefully you can join me, and we'll go through some dialogues and kind of the do's and don'ts on how to market to and contact and find for sale by owners and expired. So we'll talk to you guys later. And again, thank you so much. Please share this. I don't know, maybe even start what do you call that? A little group or whatever. But comment, let me know what you got out of this. And again, if you're thinking about doing postcards to a farm, I would most definitely give Marty a call because again, remember, I don't like spending a lot of money. I think we spent probably $350 $350 for 22 or 2,500 cards that we get from him. So again, thanks a lot. Hopefully you guys have an amazing Tuesday afternoon, and we'll see you all on Thursday.